Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now, I'm AspieAnswersAll to the newbies out there that has landed on my channel for whatever reason it may be. Some to educate, some to motivate, some to inspire, or whatever the case may be. I'm here just to give you the lowdown about my life story with Asperger's syndrome, OCD, depression and the like, as well as sharing with you all basically some health topics along the way versus what to do with people that we can see the classical signs and symptoms, as well as also on the last piece basically as a motivated person basically from that Beauty from Ashes channel that I was trying to collab up together. But as I said many times before, it's in my everyday life of an Aspie playlist right now, so I humbly apologize in advance, sort of thing. And in those playlistings it will just cover everyday topics that we go through with tips and advice, as well as some support and just everyday encounter tips of what we go through, of maybe some of my life stories if you want to hear it, versus not wishing and condoning anyone to do the same things that I may have done of those mistakes, and hopefully that you will feel loved and supported and not prejudged by others. As I said so many times before, I'm hoping that this channel definitely for sure should be by rights a user-friendly channel for people to come on and just feel that they're safe and not being judged or what have you, because every now and again we don't know what other people are going through, so it's all about being considerate of others and actually respecting everyone's opinions and all that. That's how I'm addressing it all as at this point of time. I'm not what I feel it is at this point of time. So if you've been following me right now, basically I have decided to do another mental health awareness kind of series, which is based on intrusive thoughts. These pieces that are coming up on these intrusive thoughts, I've decided to do this because, as we know, that 9 times out of 10, with or without the anxiety disorders that is associated with this, that basically these will come up unannounced, uninvited, as I said in one of my videos. So therefore, basically what it's going to cover in the next few pieces, hopefully, is what is it of these intrusive thoughts, the classical description of it all, basically, the categories that comes under these intrusive thoughts, how it all begins, it's all in my head, versus the treatments and therapies. So no further ado, guys, I'm just hoping that with all the stuff that I'm sharing right now, that you're gaining understanding based through me, as well as maybe just understanding on these everyday health topics that I'm addressing to you all on my channel, and hopefully some of this has been beneficial to you or someone that you know of, basically. So please, feel free to comment below just to give me a lowdown if you've been sharing my videos or not, or you've been watching them, and I wanted just a bit of feedback here and there, but if I'm doing the right thing right now of sharing these to you all, so that hopefully, like I said, we can connect one way or another and via Facebook or outer community sometime later on. Right, let's begin. The first part, what is intrusive thoughts? Maybe many people will be questioning or asking inside themselves, what is it, how they happen, what can we do about it? So these 3 questions, look no further, AspieAnswersAll is going to answer them to you to gain a better understanding and knowledge about this. It sounds exactly just like that. Intrusive thoughts that come unannounced, uninvited, when we least expect it. Okay, it just automatically pops up out of nowhere. Sometimes it stems from maybe our personal experiences that we've been through in the past, basically, that may stem off the what ifs, the could be's, the should be's, and all these thoughts that ruminates inside of us, basically. Even though we know it's unintentional as well as unwanted and uninvited of these intrusive thoughts, and sometimes it happens without a reason, basically, or even with us not knowing it's there personally until it just pops up. But we don't know where they're coming from, to the point sometimes many people are trying to suggest that it could be from our past personal experiences, but it's, like I said in one of my videos I've been following, like it may stem from when, here's an example in our personal experience, that we got sexually violated by our partner, or sexually violated by our family member, or another classic example is it stemmed off probably maybe of all these intrusive thoughts about basically maybe when we got violently abused by our partners. Sometimes, however, when this is happening, we don't know where they're coming from, and we may not know how to get rid of them. So hence why I'm here today, just to address all that, what I'm saying. But then again, we may feel that sometimes, you know, some of our feelings and emotions will get in the way of all these intrusive thoughts, you know, as I said before, without or with the anxiety disorders that comes with the intrusive thoughts. It will just start, you know, circling in our mind with these feelings and emotions, you know. And it will get worse eventually over time, as I said, if you do choose to actually act upon them or just choose to, you know, ruminate on these thoughts somehow. Some people may try to kick them out of the way, out of the curb by just suppressing them, but there's no way to do it, basically. Sometimes we'll feel to ignore them because it's best to, basically, and that when we choose to ignore it, it's best to know that it means nothing to us, so that we eventually don't pay attention, so to speak. As I stated before though, however, it's a component that stems up from an anxiety disorder, be it OCD, depression, social anxiety, the like. But main conception of intrusive thoughts will stem off from OCD majority of the time, because as we know that with people that has OCD, will make this person have them based on our behaviours and actions towards that kind of thoughts. So therefore, you know, we're compulsively, you know, washing our hands to get rid of the germs off our hands every single minute of the day, maybe, is a classic example to share here. Okay, there's about 3 things I want you guys to remember about intrusive thoughts, however, and they are as follows. Number 1, everybody with or without the anxiety disorder has some disgusting or embarrassing thoughts, or even risky thoughts from time to time. So it's like I said, it's not just for the people of the faint-hearted that suffers from anxiety disorders, but people without. Number 2 is basically to remember is that the thoughts that we may be thinking at that time doesn't equal to reality. Like, for example, here you could be thinking about something like you want to win in the lottery. So what you do is basically, you know, you end up deciding that you want to, you know, go to the lotto ticket, buy yourself a lotto ticket to win that $1 million. Here, say, you know, if it's $1 million draw, then after getting the lotto ticket, you know, you feel like, you know, if you haven't won or did win, that basically go out and spend it or save it, choice is us. That doesn't work right away. So those thoughts doesn't even equal to reality. And last but not least, for the 3rd point to remember for us is that our thoughts being suppressed, or thought suppression as it's called, doesn't always work. So therefore there are other treatments and therapies that are out there to actually be rid of these intrusive thoughts, however. People may suggest to us to wear a rubber band on our wrist and just snap a few times on this to delay those intrusive thoughts, however, or bad thoughts, as the case may be for some of the label. But then to come back, it will then disappear for a time, as we know, but then it's wrong. It's not always true, obviously, when you're flicking that rubber band on our wrist and it's just there, it comes back. Okay, question is, before I end this, is what do I do, or what can I do about these intrusive thoughts? Am I right here? Look no further. Maybe we have these intrusive thoughts and they come all the time, unwanted, uninvited, unannounced, and ruining our days and relationships of our, you know, friends versus our family versus our co-workers versus our partners and whatnot. And you're at maybe here's an example when it does arises, maybe at a cafe one day, catching up with some of your girly mates, or catching up with your guys at a pub, basically, and, you know, and poof, automatically, just out of nowhere, out it comes, these intrusive thoughts. Hello, disgusting thoughts, and we can't get rid of them. Okay, like, to continue on this, basically, why is this happening? It's not about the thoughts that comes in, it's all about basically how we think about them and processing them as well, as if we need to act upon them. So, like, again, choices is asked, do we want to act upon these thoughts that comes in unannounced, unwanted, uninvited? Right, the person who does or doesn't have anxiety disorder may have that compulsion to ruminate and just feed into these thoughts, however, processes by thinking about it and with these big thoughts coming into our minds, and we just let them go. Classic example to share with you all, just to get a better understanding before I end this, is basically, if I was just walking down the street, minding my own business, and then out of nowhere I see a car driving fast out of the driveway, and I see an elderly lady like slowly walking, trying to get past that speeding car out of the driveway. Obviously, that reversing car managed to knock her down. Right? Automatically, our responses or thought processes could be as follows, right? That's a horrible thought just there. How embarrassing. Why am I thinking that? But another clarification to get a better understanding is like the change of that process. Like when we did have that classic example of that other lady getting run over, is, oh, why do I have it? That's terrible. I'm a terrible person. I don't go through that process. Instead, I'll just think of maybe another thought process to think about is, well, let's not hope it doesn't happen to that elderly lady, and then maybe just let go of the thought. But in reality, certain things do happen though. Now that's the key differences between them though. Again, it's not exactly the thought that's keeping us and holding us hostage or holding us aback. It's the real fact of us just ruminating upon those thoughts and actually just not doing something about it, even if we feel that we don't need to. But in reality, we do sometimes before it gets a little too late, as they say. Well, that is basically the first part of what is intrusive thoughts, how to go about it and why it happens and all that. I'm going to be doing more in depth in the next part over, just to get you guys understanding wise. Can be the like, the thumbs up for support, basically showing that you're engaging. Also, feel free to comment below, as I said before, it's good to have some feedback now and again to show support, or just shows that you are engaging, and that maybe you've been through some of the stuff that I'm sharing with you, also that hopefully we can just make it an awareness for everybody that they're not alone. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, basically. So follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitter, AspieAnswersAll, to know what's going down with me. So, and all further ado, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for your support. Do what you love what you do, love one another. Until next time, I'll see you all again soon.